Aziz dostlar, kişi gimnastların turnirde final çıkışlarını izleyecek. Finalçıları karşılayın.
Dear friends, let's welcome men's horizontal bar finalists.
The last final at the Baku World Cup of 2024, the penultimate Olympic qualification event in World Cup artistic gymnastics. Still, continental pathways will be open to some of the athletes. But who will go into Doha in a strong position, even in a qualified spot? Here are the contenders. Xiao Teng of the People's Republic of China, all-around silver medalist at the last Olympics. Ilyas Yuriu of Cyprus, the reigning Commonwealth Games horizontal bar champion. Egypt's Ahmed El Marahi, an African Championship medalist on the horizontal bar. Robert Tvorogal of Lithuania, European champion from 2020. Italy's Carlo Macchini, the runner-up at the last European Championships. Artur Mariano, world champion in 2019 and the reigning Pan American Games champion. Angel Barajas of Colombia, bronze medalist at the Junior World Championships. Tang Xiaohang of Chinese Taipei, the leader in World Cup Olympic qualification so far. Tang Xiaohang, who'll be the last to go, is virtually Paris bound after 2 gold medals so far. The finalists in the horizontal bar competition and the top performer in qualification, Artur Mariano of Brazil. 14.466 was his score. The second best, Ilyas Yuriu of Cyprus. He will go second in this final. Well, the usual housekeeping ahead of this final. Let's look at those who are actively attempting to qualify for the Games via this route. This is one of them, Ilyas Yuriu, he'll be second. Ahmed El Marahi, who's third. Robert Tvorogal, who's fourth. Artur Mariano, who is sixth. And then we have Angel Barajas and Tang Xiaohang. Though the situation for Brazil is that there is a non-nominative place for Brazil at the Games. And that was courtesy of the last World Championship, so things are a little more interesting and complicated there for the Brazilian squad. I'll just remind you that the Americas spot has been taken by Audrey Nin Reyes of the Dominican Republic after the Pan American Games, which was used as the continental qualifier. All of the other continental qualifiers happen next year. It's a bit of a painful one, that, for Ahmed El Marahi. Xiao Teng is part of a team that's already qualified. Carlo Macchini is part of a team that's already qualified. So those two are not going to intercede in terms of Paris qualification here. Let us find out who ends up in the best position going to Doha.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with horizontal bar finalists. Please welcome first athlete representing China, Ruoteng Xiao.
From the People's Republic of China, Xiao Ruoteng. Xiao Ruoteng was the 5th best performer in qualification with 14.266. We haven't seen him at a World Cup competition since Doha last year, where he didn't make any finals. But he was the runner-up in the all-around competition at the last Olympic Games. Straight Kachev, his first release move. Straddle Kachev connected to the pike Kachev. Nice fluency with the in-bar work. Slightly wild coming out of the pirouette perhaps. Dismount. Oh, well, dismount was very good, and then just picked up a few deductions for that delayed loss of stability.
Ruoteng Xiao is 2-time silver and 2-time bronze medalist of the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. 3-time gold and 3-time bronze medalist of the World Championships. Aziz dostlar, yani Çin'i temsil eden maçını ürəkdən alqışlayaq və ona dəstək olaq. And now, dear friends, we are waiting for score of Chinese athlete.
Unexpected additional need for stability right at the conclusion of that display. He was part of the Chinese team last year, won the Asian Games title in Hangzhou. 13.833. Same difficulty as qualification, the execution down by 0.4 of a mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the next finalist from Cyprus, Ilias Georgiou.
Second in this men's horizontal bar final, aspiring to a place at the Games. Cyprus's Ilias Georgiou. He was 8th in Cairo, didn't pick up any points in Cottbus. His Cassina had a little imprecision in form, but some good power. Coleman, similar. The straddle Kachev is connected nicely to a pike Kachev. He's going well here. And then the straight Kachev. He's put a lot of work into this routine. And his dismount involves a big step forwards. However, it was a really accomplished display.
Horizontal bar.
Ilias Georgiou of Cyprus, the reigning Commonwealth Games champion. The best we've seen from him in World Cup Olympic qualification so far. Let's have a look back at this performance from the 24-year-old Cypriot. It's a little piked on the dismount, hence the big step forwards.
Georgia.
14.433 in qualification. He has been on 2 occasions a finalist at the World Championships. At the Commonwealth Games, it was hard to tell what meant more to him emotionally, that gold medal on the horizontal bar or the team bronze medal, because the Cypriot squad was jubilant about that. 14.3 is his number, so he's up 3/10 in difficulty from qualification. His execution is down, so overall he's down by just over a tenth, but a lot of difficulty in that display. He's done well. Another Olympic hopeful is Ahmed El Marahi of Egypt. He was the first reserve a couple of weeks ago in Cottbus. He was 6th in his home World Cup in Cairo. 28-year-old is a qualified geologist from Alexandria University. He's been competing for many years now on the international scene. He's got some really spectacular work on this piece. Can he maintain his accuracy? The Cassina, and that's where he came off in the warm-up. It was better, but he lost all of his swingfulness. And unfortunately, he does have to reset.
Aziz dostlar, gəlin alqışlarınızla idmançını ruhlandıraq.
Oh, and then the Coleman just had real wildness to it. So unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. And when one considers that he did not make the final in Cottbus and was 6th in Cairo, this makes it, euphemistically, shall we say, very difficult for him. And you can only sympathise. He's such an interesting gymnast. So much of what he does is daring and bold, and it is so regrettable that it didn't work out on this occasion, this big occasion for him. You've got to admire how he goes for it, though. And it's so marginal, just slightly out on the angle of reconnection, and all of that kinetic energy is gone, and the gymnast loses their swing. 11.166
The score of Ahmed
for
El-Maraghi from
Ahmed El-Maraghi.
166. Different, we continue with Robert Tvoragal, athlete from Lithuania.
To a two-time Olympian, Robert Tvoragal of Lithuania. 14.2 in qualification. He was fifth in Cairo, won the bronze in Cottbus. He's very much contending here. Two places available for each apparatus. The straight Kachev. Very poised looking in bar work. Nice snap from Stolder into handstand. Then the straddle Kachev. Good dismount as well from Robert Tvoragal. Silver medalist at the European Championships in Munich 2 years after he won the gold medal.
And silver medal winner of the European Championships.
He has also been a medalist on parallel bars at continental level.
Warm-up time starts for the next four finalists.
He is just one medal away from 10 in World Cup competition. The most recent was a gold medal in Mersin in Turkey at the end of 2022. .333 is a good step up from qualification. He goes into the gold medal position. He's gone ahead of Ilyas Yuriu by a few hundredths. Another strong performance from Bobby Tvoragal. How important that extra little place could be. Now we have still got the top qualifier to come, Arta Nori. We've also got Angel Barajas, the young Colombian. And we have going last of all the gentleman who could make it secure, Tang Chia-hung, the winner in Cairo and Cottbus.
Warm-up time has ended.
To the last four performances in this men's horizontal bar final
Now,
in
ladies and
Baku.
gentlemen, please welcome the next finalist representing Italy. Carlo Macchini.
Carlo Macchini of Italy, the runner-up at the European Championships last year, his biggest international honours to date. He has twice finished fourth at the World Championships, once on this piece and once in team competition. Winds up into that move popularised by Alias Pegan. Then he's got that piked Kovac. This is very interesting, unusual work. Then the more traditional Coleman had to steady himself there for a moment. He dismounts nicely, Carlo Macchini.
That was brilliant.
He's always memorable on this piece. There's a sense of uniqueness about his routine construction that makes him exciting to watch. Winner of 3 World Cup medals. Isn't that lovely? Coming out of the tuck position, forwards momentum, re-grasping. And then the Kovac in the pike position. Sixth best in qualification, 14.266.
We see the score of Carlo Macchini.
13.433 here.
13.433.
He does have a big execution deduction. I mentioned that problem earlier when he was moving into the handstand position, had to reset. He's lost quite a lot across the routine. Biggest difficulty we've seen of anyone, though. Artanori Mariano of Brazil, top qualifier. 14.466. Sixth in Cottbus, didn't make the final in Cairo. Begins with the Kachev. And the straddle variation and the pike variation. And there the full twisting Jaeger that he does so nicely to a Yamawaki. Secure from Artanori Mariano. A typically Artanori Mariano response as well.
Winner of the Olympic Games, gold and bronze medalist of the World Championships.
He's already stood on an Olympic podium in his home games in Rio when he finished third on floor, aiming for Olympics number 3. And he wants his mum there in Paris, watching him after all that she's been through. She's had such dreadful health. And he supported her an awful lot, just as she supported him so much along the way. He's so motivated now by looking after his mum and giving her the joy of seeing him compete at the Olympiad in Paris. following in her footsteps as well, in that he's a graduate of physical education from Paulista University and his mum was a PE teacher. 14.333 for Artenori Mariano. He's in second place. Carlo Macchini is... sorry, not Carlo Macchini. Robert Tvorigal is the leader. And that's on the execution tiebreak. Angel Barajas, penultimate gymnast in this final. Bronze medalist in Cairo. Didn't feature in Cottbus. He's been performing very well on the parallel bars as well. A 17-year-old who's fast making a name for himself. Cassina with power and purpose. Kovac, Coleman. This is such a difficult routine. Then Akachev into another one. He's got a couple of combined release and regrasps in this routine. This is some young man, Angel Barajas of Colombia. 6.8 was his difficulty score in qualification. Again, he is able to produce enormous complexity at such a young age. In places, his execution is not as secure as some of the other more experienced athletes, but he builds his score with compelling and engrossing difficulty.
Dear friends, we see the highlights of Colombian gymnast Angel Barajas on the screen. Əziz Kolumbiya'dan idmançını ürəkdən alqışlayaq.
14.433 in qualification. That would be good enough for a leading score from anyone now. And just one to go after this. So Robert Tvorigal is guaranteed a medal. It's another 14.333, would you believe? 6.8 difficulty, so with the lower execution, he goes in third place. That means Tvorigal leading, Mariano second, Barajas third, all 14.333.
Representing Chinese Taipei, Chia-Hung Tang.
Tang Chia-Hung of Chinese Taipei. The winner in Cairo and Cottbus, the King of Cats, with an opportunity to get the cream. Cassina, oh, he's done well to fight through that, my word. A lot of deductions to come, but he stayed on. Oh, and then that Yamawaki with a full twist. So much power to carry that off. Straight Kachev. Piked Kachev. Straddle Kachev connected. Now that's a lovely finish. And he has put himself into a great position across the first couple of events. Remember that nothing is officially confirmed until after the Doha World Cup. But Tang Xiaheng might well be feeling very confident going into Doha. He does have a big form break though after reconnecting from that casino. Isn't that just extraordinary, the Yamawaki with a full twist. The emotions of Olympic qualification.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are waiting for score of Chinese Taipei gymnast.
The last score to come in, 14.333, occupies every space on the podium. Tvoregal, Mariano, Barajas, 1, 2 and 3. .2. He's in 5th position.
14.2.
Close. He had an extra 0.2 of difficulty from qualification. Not quite there. The classified results in the horizontal bar competition. Bronze for Angel Barajas of Colombia. Silver for Artanori Mariano of Brazil. And gold for Robert Tvoregal of Lithuania. The execution scores 7.533, 8.533, 8.833. Tie-break criteria in operation across the podium. We have in just a short while the 5 victory ceremonies, so please stay with us to enjoy the scenes of celebration at the National Gymnastics Arena in Baku. The bronze medal in the men's horizontal bar competition was won by the teenager from Colombia, Angel Barajas. The silver medal won by Artanori Mariano of Brazil. And the winner of the gold medal, Lithuanian Robert Tvoregal. Big result for him in terms of his prospects of going all the way to Paris. We'll leave you with the flash mob, but before we bring you the ceremony. The victory ceremony for the men's horizontal bar competition at the World Cup in Baku.
Award ceremony for men's horizontal bar final. 3rd place and bronze medalist Angel Barajas, Colombia.
The bronze medalist, Colombia's Angel Barajas, this bright young prospect.
2nd place and silver medalist Artur Mariano, Brazil.
Artanori Mariano of Brazil, the world champion from 2019, with a really important performance for his Olympic dreams.
Robert Tvoregal, Lithuania.
But what a couple of weeks it's been for Robert Tvoregal of Lithuania. He was 5th in Cairo, but then went to Cottbus, where he won the bronze medal. He's now won the gold here. The Lithuanian looking very good value now to be one of the most talked about names going into the last World Cup event.
Ceremonies Director. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and show your respect for the national anthem of Lithuania.
Tebrik ederim. Hediyeler Azərbaycan Gimnastika Federasiyasının rəsmi tərəfdaşı LG tərəfindən təqdim olunur.
The medalists in the men's horizontal bar competition at the Baku World Cup of Artistic Gymnastics. A long month is ahead. The final Olympic qualification event, the Doha World Cup, in this World Cup cycle of apparatus pathways to Paris, takes place on the 19th and 20th of April. Those are the days of finals action. We wish you all the very best until that time, and I hope you'll be able to join us again for more coverage from these World Cup events. It's Destination Doha to find out the pathway to Paris.